Hello, everybody. This is the No Cap recap of the Curse of Oak Island, Season 11, Episode 21, called Straight as an Arrow, aired April 2nd, 2024. If you missed my recaps of previous episodes, there's a link to my Oak Island playlist in the upper right. Let's get into it. Previously, on the Curse of Oak Island, people have been looking for an incredible treasure for 229 years. There's not good news from Dumas Contracting regarding the flooding of the garden shaft. Water is coming in at roughly 479 gallons a minute, and that is a lot. Dumas personnel will meet to determine the best course of action to move forward. From the research center, Rick, Craig, and Doug meet via video conferencing with researchers Corin Mall and Emilio Sacchetti. Always on the hunt for the who and when of Oak Island, Rick suggests another field trip to Europe, tasking the researchers with finding the places to go. Narrator Robert Clotworthy recounts recent reports from astroarchaeologist Professor Gispani that put 3 stone formations he attributes to the Knights Templar between the year 1000 to 1250 AD. Nolan's Cross, the 5 stone piles on Lot 21, and the Stone Triangle. Robert also reminds us that Doug Simmons' published research was presented in the War Room, detailing Vikings-Templar interactions, including their landing at Lanza Meadows, which is that close to Oak Island. In the northern part of the swamp on the Nolan property, excavating John Edwards' first chosen spot, the Tiferet point in the Tree of Life, has been hiding this boulder that has disturbed soil underneath it. Billy excavates it out of the way so that Dr. Spooner can examine the area. Dr. Spooner finds a stick that was between the boulder and the sediment, which he says could mean the boulder was moved to that spot. That will, of course, be carbon dated. He further says that if you wanted to move water through this area, get drainage here, you'd move stones, you'd move things around. He finds this cut wood at the base of the sediment previously under the boulder and will take it to be carbon dated as well. In the war room, Rick and Marty and other members of the team meet with the Dumas Brain Trust, who outline their findings. They have a pump that can keep the now 106-foot deep garden shaft dry, but their concern is that the constant pumping could disrupt the integrity of the shaft and end up making it collapse. They suggest that instead they pump it dry to the 55-foot level and above, so that in the short time they have left on the island this season, they can at least probe drill there for the void they encountered just west of the garden shaft the previous year, as shown here. At that same level in the garden shaft, the team found wood that Emma, in a rare appearance outside the lab here, reported testing positive for gold. Back at the Tiferet point in the northern part of the swamp, Billy pulls up a tree stump. Previously this season, Billy uncovered 2 layers of stumps further south. The rest of the trees were not there. Trees cannot grow in a swamp. Jack spots this very well-shaped cut timber he says would have been brought here for a reason. Billy uncovers more of the area and finds this rock-lined circular depression. We zoom up and away from the Tiferet point in the swamp, 50 miles northeast to Halifax. We meet Eric Roklowski, son of researcher Paul Roklowski, who befriended Dan Blankenship in the 1990s and managed to collect some of the previous searcher finds. Paul passed away in 2014. Eric shows Rick and Doug this crossbow bolt arrowhead that was found by Robert Dunfield in the 1960s on the island and given to Paul Roklowski by Robert Dunfield Jr. Supposedly, 3 of them were found. The whereabouts of the other 2 are unknown. Rick says if it is as old as we are led to believe, it's remarkable. Rick will work with Eric to schedule non-destructive testing on it. Laird and other members of the team arrive at the Searchers of Stone feature at the Teferet Point. Jack informed them there wasn't much digging, that Billy just took the water out. Gary says there were no metals detected, but that's the same as the paved area and the stone road. Rick spots some wood and Jack retrieves this for him. Rick says it reminds him of the survey markers Fred Nolan found that were carbon dated as old as the 1500s. We'll carbon date this one as well. Rick says nothing else should be done until Dr. Spooner looks at it, and Gary suggests Steve check the elevation of it as compared to the paved area further south. Dr. Spooner says it's not natural, built by someone intentionally, and reinforces that it wasn't a swamp at the time it was built, activity that is not recorded in the history books. Steve gets the GPS record of the spot where the fresh spring water is refilling the area, and then says the stone his GPS device is on top of is about 1 foot below sea level, which matches the paved area, dated by Dr. Spooner to be as early as 1200 AD. After Dr. Spooner advises no more work at the circle for the time being, he and Steve get a core sample of the sediment under the water for testing. Meeting with the researchers by video conferencing again, Corin says that, among other things, that this castle ruin in the Netherlands has a 30-meter wide wall that is full of Templar inscriptions. And in the catacombs are symbols that he has also seen in his Oak Island research. Emilio says he has found this Cistercian abbey near Milan, Italy, that by the end of the 1200s had produced 100 manuscripts, including astronomical ones. So it would be a great place to start when researching that body of knowledge. Doug confirms that Cistercians are a solid connection between the Knights Templar and Freemasons. Founded in 1098, Cistercians were an order of Catholic nuns and monks who built megalithic abbeys throughout Europe. They also achieved many advances in science, including geometry, astronomy, architecture, agriculture, and hydraulic engineering, including underground water passages. One of their prolific leaders was Bernard of Clairvaux, who also helped establish the Order of the Knights Templar. Emilio also says that Professor Gaspani has research on new alignments to share with them. Concerning the Europe trip, Marty does his best Jean-Luc Picard imitation and says, "Make it so." Next time on an all-new The Curse of Oak Island, Season 11, Episode 22, called Abbey Road, which is an album by a little band, indie band called The Beatles. That field trip will happen. The episode synopsis reads as follows. While the team uncovers a surprising find on Lot 5, members of the Fellowship arrive in Europe and immediately discover more Templar connections. You can watch the preview for that episode and all the other ones as of the date you are watching this in that same Oak Island playlist. I'll continue recapping Season 11 late Tuesday nights through the spring, as well as continue to do retro recaps of seasons 6 through 8, seasons 1 through 5, 9, 10, and the aired episodes of season 11 are already done and are also in that same Oak Island playlist. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Siempre avanti.